is Estevan.
Let's just imagine that Steve Armitage is hosting the broadcast tonight. How would that go, Mike?
Oh, thanks, Mark. It's going to be a great series as the Calgary Flames, a fabulous city, up against Edmonton. Edmonton! Germs, disease, sweatpants with good shoes.
Don't bring the hate on Rod. This is all on this end, folks. Be mad at this guy.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show. Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans. In the United States and around the world, it's the RP Show. For a lot of you, it's your Monday. It's our Tuesday. And for another day, we're broadcasting live from the Centennial Cup, presented by Tim Hortons, live from beautiful Estevan, Saskatchewan. So happy to be here on day 7 of the National Canadian Junior A Hockey Championship. But we're going to talk about all sports over the next 2 hours with some very special guests, including our co-host, the lovely and talented Darren Moose Dupont. And there might be a story there as we bring in the Moose as to who the guests will be. How you doing, Moose?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I love being in a hockey rink. Did I say that once or twice?
Yes. Yeah. Imagine a hockey tournament, but a high-level hockey tournament with all-you-can-eat pizza and donuts and Tim Hortons coffee. If you think it's heaven, you'd be right. Right?
Yeah, this has been unbelievable. And I know it's so early in our stay here still.
Yeah.
Maybe getting to the halfway point here soon, but everybody's treating us so well, and that's been amazing.
Yeah, so in this opening segment, the warm-up, as we call it, where we cover all the Quick Six show topics, and maybe it'll span 2 segments. That's what we do on Daytime Sports Talk here on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 U.S. states. I had Alan May's name written down here, the Washington Capitals analyst and the star of CBS Sports. But I understand you guys had a late night, and I did not want to disturb Alan May. You have to. It's your job. But Alan May's changed his flight now, and he's not going back to Texas. He's staying in Estevan for a few more days because it's so darn much fun. So I just put a line through Alan May's name. If he wants to come down here and talk hockey with us, he can. But I know that the president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League, Brent Ladd, is going to be with us in hour 1, and the head coach and general manager of the Estevan Bruins, the host Estevan Bruins, Jason Tatarnik. They did a Hulk Hogan, leg on the bottom rope. They're coming back to life last night. They won 6-2 over the Red Lake Miners right here, and they got life. So there's a chance that they will make the playoffs. They did a Hulk Hogan.
They did a Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
exactly
so I love it. So that's the Junior A story. But Director Jordan, can you please hit the Quick Six show horn, and let's talk about what everything else is going on in the world of sports. And I will get to your good mornings and your thank yous and your all the rest in a minute. But let's start with point 1, and it's the Stanley Cup Playoffs from last night. Nazem Kadri scored 3 goals, including 2 during a 4-goal second-period barrage, and the Colorado Avalanche beat the St. Louis Blues 6-3 last night to take a 3-1 series lead. I'm not going to spend as much time on this as we probably should. Kadri's outburst came after he received racist death threats on social media following a first-period collision with Blues goalie Jordan Bennington in Game 3 Saturday night. But you see that Kadri signaled the crowd last night. He did his talking on the ice. I know a lot of people don't like him. What his race is, it's his style of play people don't like more than anything as far as hockey fans. But as far as his race goes, I'm just a Kadri fan for all of how he's handled this. He did his talking on the ice. He said, I've been dealing with this for years.
Yeah.
He just kind of dismissed it. No different than Ethan Bear and stuff he's gone through, and I'm just proud of Nazem Kadri. answered the bell last night.
I've always been a fan, not just because I'm a Leaf fan, but
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Nazem's. He has a little bit of an arrogant attitude or a way about him, and I think that maybe rubs people the wrong way. But he plays with an edge. He was a very, very good defender, and I go back to the Leaf times. He was really good at playing one-on-one with Connor McDavid defensively. Gave him fits. I'm interested if Edmonton gets through. That would be a cool matchup. But you're right; he's handling it well. And when you talk and you play like that, you got to show up on the ice, and he's done that.
Yeah, he answered the bell. That's all you can ask. So we move on to point 2. Goalie Andrei Vasilevsky made 49 saves, and the host Tampa Bay Lightning completed a 4-game sweep of the Florida Panthers with a 2-0 victory Monday night that sends the 2-time Stanley Cup defending champions to the Eastern Conference Final for the 6th time in 8 years. The last team to do that is Colorado, to go to a conference final 6 times in 8 years. They did it in the 90s. Patrick Maroon and Andre Palat scored third-period goals for the Bolts. The high-scoring Panthers were limited to just 3 goals in 4 games in the Battle of Florida. So the question is, which we're not going to get into today, maybe another time, where does this leave the Florida Panthers? Are they going to be in 3 years where the Tampa Bay Lightning are now? Probably. A lot of people here last night in the suites are saying, Rod, did you see a sweep coming? I said, no, I had the Panthers winning in 7, but they played immaturely. We've talked about it. I don't really want to talk about it. I've got Lightning fans that are trolling me on Facebook, and I said, hey, I'll cheer for the Lightning now and maybe head to Tampa. I don't know. We're picking up the pieces in the aftermath. I don't know. Living one day at a time. It's disappointing because I've been following the Florida Panthers since day one and was expecting, don't you know, a very long Stanley Cup playoff run here.
Yeah.
So they're good. They're a good team, but they're kids. And if they got caught in a strip club till 3 a.m. Sunday night in Tampa Bay, as was the report, the Florida Panthers, boys will be boys. They say teams that party together win together.
They played pretty good last night.
Yes.
They outshot Tampa 2-1. This is the highest scoring team in the NHL, and this is the first time all year that they got shut out, right? And didn't get on the board. So Vasilevsky is great. And what Tampa does is they let you play, and they just never panic. Tampa never panics. And when it's not going your way and you're out shooting them 2-1, 30-15, and 44-22, and whatever they were, you start gripping the sticks when it's not going in, and Tampa stays calm. And when they get a chance, they bury. And that happens.
So that's last night's games. Did we come up with a poll question? I want to, before we move on to the CFL, what's going on there? We haven't, have we? So Moose is going to tweet the poll right now, and the question is, who wins Game 4 of the Battle of Alberta tonight? Okay, let's just get into it and spend a minute on it before we get to the CFL stuff, which incidentally we're the only daytime sports talk show in Canada talking about the CFL at all, so we'll give them a minute in a minute. But frankly, what I care about the most is the Battle of Alberta. Game 4 tonight, Flames at Oilers, and not like we didn't kick it around enough with Alan May yesterday, but does the momentum from Game 3 carry over into Game 4? I don't think so, because look at the momentum the Flames had in Game 1, a 9-6 victory over the Oilers in the Saddledome. Certainly didn't carry over into Game 2. As a matter of fact, the Flames are trailing in the series now. There's been a lot of talk. You see Matthew Tkachuk saying, well, we've been beaten by one guy the last 2 games. Yeah, but it's been different guys, Matthew. It's not just Connor McDavid. Evander Kane beat you in Game 3. So are we seeing the Calgary Flames unravel a little bit in this series? I'm going to save my vote for who I think will win tonight till later on. We're going to do a Lee Corso worthy prediction of who's going to win Game 4 tonight of the Battle of Alberta, Flames or Oilers, and that is the poll question. You clearly just tweeted it.
I tweeted it, so I hope I didn't make any mistakes. Clark
will add that to the YouTube feed. I want you to vote on who you think will win, and you can put it in the chat section as well. Before we move on, Jeff Foxworthy, the largest selling comedy recording artist in history, a multiple Grammy Award nominee and best-selling author of more than 26 books, brings his brand new The Good Old Days tour to Calgary this Saturday night at the Grey Eagle Event Center. Jeff Foxworthy, are you smarter than a 5th grader? You might be a redneck. Spokesperson for the Golden Corral.
That's right.
I worship the man. Jeff Foxworthy coming to Calgary's Grey Eagle Saturday night. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.ca. We do have to talk about the... I just registered my vote in the YouTube poll. I ask everybody to do the same thing. I can't quite get to your comments yet because it's us time. So last night we're at the game watching the Estevan Bruins beat the Red Lake, Ontario Miners 6-2 in the round robin, and my phone notification goes off from TSN and says CFL players vote no to the owners' collective bargaining agreement proposal, the ratification vote. I was sitting with some hockey people, one being Melody Pearson, and I said, looks like the CFL's going on strike again. She looked at me just stone-faced. What? I was on Hamilton Radio this morning, CHML, talking about this with the great Rick Zamprin, Rico. I'll be on Global Toronto tomorrow morning talking about the CFL labor disruption. I sent some text messages out to some people in the league and some agents. I'm looking at where it is here. Their response, the CFLPA needs to all resign, is what one agent said. This just looks unprofessional. And now I'm getting reports that out in Montreal today, the Alouettes are on the field. The Blue Bombers and Rough Riders have sent out news releases saying their practices are a go, even though the players voted down this agreement. When the other agent said to me on the weekend, it doesn't look like either side knows what they're doing, I think he might have got that right.
I think he might have had that right. And I know that there was some people who said, hey, just because this has been agreed upon in principle, it's not rubber stamped yet, it still has to go to a vote. There's a chance it could get voted down. So we were kind of aware this might happen, but we didn't really think it would. But it getting voted down was not the PA putting out another strike mandate. It was just it's got voted down. Now they have to decide what's the next move. If we vote this down, are we going back to the table? Are we going back on strike? Why did it get voted down? What were the key issues? They've got to figure that out now. And now all of a sudden, are preseason games in jeopardy again? Are we back to that, where we might not play on next week? So there's a lot of questions there's more questions than answers right now.
I see the insiders like Dave Naylor from TSN describing this as chaos. Farhan Lalji of TSN out of Vancouver saying similar things. Tim Baines, who's one of the greatest writers in the CFL, he's at Ottawa Sun. He ripped the players last night on Twitter, and today he's backtracking and apologizing. The chairman of the Red Blacks is coming out, Mark Gowdy, saying, can we all take a breath? This is too toxic. I'm like, it is chaos. Naylor had it right. And it looks terrible because they don't know if there's going to be preseason games.
They don't.
And where's the commissioner in all of this? Where's the leader? It would be nice if one person would stand up and say, this is what we're doing. Or as another CFL forefather said to me the other day, Jake Goddard would go back and forth between the two sides. Randy Ambrosie has clearly planted his flag on the owner's side, and it's pissed off the players, and the fans are mad at the players. And Darren and I were talking about this before we went to the air. The longer and longer that I get out of the CFL, in terms of full-time employment, I see it the way everybody else sees it. But when you're in the vacuum, you don't see it. You don't. You think you're the most important thing, and the world can't revolve without us. And you start to realize, no, fans have, what do you call it, discernible income, or what do you call it, discretionary spending.
Yeah.
They're going to spend their money elsewhere. It looks Bush League. It looks unprofessional, and I can't think that anybody would change my mind on that. It just looks bad on everybody.
Yeah. We thought we had an agreement that was going to be good for the league, good for the players, was going to bridge the gap, get some growth, help us get out of the dark times from COVID for the next 7 years, and everybody was going to be happy again. And then we find out, no, some people, a large group of the players, aren't happy with it. So
what do you even have player reps for if they're going to agree verbally and then encourage the players to vote against it? Again, it doesn't look like they know what they're doing, and that is supposed to be people in a leadership position. So I'm disgusted with the entire thing. It just looks bad. This is supposed to be a professional sports league. And that's all. I'm not going to rant on it. It's 2 weeks ago I said, get your spit together.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse. So I'm not going to rant on it, but if I did, it'd be brought to you by Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, the preferred plumbing, heating, and cooling company of the RP Show. Find everything you need to know about our services, financing, product information, and more at broncoplumbing.com. Moving on. Paul Goldschmidt hit a walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning Monday night, lifting the St. Louis Cardinals 7-3 over the visiting Toronto Blue Jays. It was the first walk-off grand slam in St. Louis since April of 2017 when Matt Carpenter hit one against Toronto. Last night, George Springer homered for the Blue Jays, who fell to 1-2 in extra inning play. They'll do it again tonight in St. Louis. It is a 5:45 Mountain first pitch. Centennial Cup here. That's why we're here. We're going to talk about this because it's very important. And we're here thanks to the beautiful city of Estevan and Tim Hortons and Hockey Canada. It's a triple header again today. It's a hockey buffet. I was working out this morning with one of the league commissioners who will remain nameless at this time. And we said it's taken 7 days. Was today day 6 or day 7? The game's got some meat on the bone today.
Yes, they do.
There's some juice.
Yeah.
2 undefeated teams meet at noon Mountain today. You can watch all of these at hockeycanada.ca. The 3-0 Pickering Panthers of Pickering, Ontario. And they've got their fans with them. Mm-hmm. You can see them roaming the streets of Estevan with wigs and capes and Panthers jerseys. It's cool. At least one Panthers team's playing. And they're playing the 2-0 Brooks Bandits, who's supposedly the best team in the tournament. Both teams unbeaten. That's Noon Mountain. And then it's Dauphin versus Flin Flon. And if I may, that's the game you're looking forward to the most.
Big time.
Let's call it the Bison Battle, the Battle of Manitoba.
Yeah.
The Bison Battle, Dauphin Kings, Flin Flon Bombers. And then tonight's, frankly, the game that I'm looking forward to. The first one in this one, because Longueuil, Quebec, College de Francais Longueuil, if I have that right.
Yeah.
Versus the Red Lake Miners. These are two teams that, if Longueuil loses, then the Estevan Bruins are in if they beat Brooks Wednesday night. I know it's tough to follow, but I'm more interested in who loses tonight's game at 7:30 p.m. Mountain. And we'll be here in the luxury suite again, watching hockey all day long, eating pizza and snacks, and loving our lives. So, yeah, the game, we got some energy. If Estevan hadn't won last night, you could be performing the last rites on this entire tournament.
Yeah.
But they won. It's relief.
And both games, like if Pickering beats Brooks, that's one door open. And if Red Lake beats Longueuil, that's a second door open. So there's some possibilities here for Estevan to get to a playoff.
You know, I've done very well timing-wise here. I got my 6th point, and then we'll break and come back and talk about everything with our viewers. And on the way, Brent Ladd, the president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League in Hour 1. Hour 2, Jason Tatarnik of the host Estevan Bruins. So point 6, the last one in Edmonton last night. Justin Sordoff's goal at 8:03 of overtime ended a roller coaster night of emotions and lifted the Edmonton Oil Kings to a 4-3 win over the Winnipeg Ice. The Ice scored at 16:14 of the third period with less than 4 minutes to go to take a 3-2 lead. It looked like they were going to go up 2-1 in the series, but then Edmonton's Jalen Lupin scored with 1:18 to go to force overtime, and then the Oil Kings went on to win it. Dylan Genther and Caden Gooley scored the other Edmonton goals at Rogers Place with Zach Benson. Our guy, Zach Benson, he's 16. Connor McLennan and Jack Finley replied for the Winnipeg Ice. And Denmark beat Canada for the first time in a 3-2 upset win at the World Ice Hockey Championship. Ice hockey. In Finland, Sebastian Dom's 29 saves helped Denmark hold on to stun Canada and move into contention for a place in the quarterfinals. I don't care about the World Hockey Championships unless we're winning. And we lost to Denmark, which is my country, actually. Yeah. So I was in a glass case of emotions yesterday when Canada was playing Denmark. When we come back, we'll throw it all on the table and chat with you. The most interactive sports talk show in the world is right here, live from Affinity Place, and we'll be right back. Brought to you by Power Dodge, Estevan, City of Estevan, and Tough Tribe for Men. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Rod Pedersen, back in Canada. He must be lost. On location, brought to you by the City of Estevan. Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
This is a bedtime story and a rise and shine. A fishing story and an epic night. A place for kids to play and adults to unwind. This is Estevan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time. Big time.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
The Rod Pedersen Show, brought to you by Power Dodge Estevan.
And as always, it's great to be here. In this business, it's great to be anywhere. And this week's coverage of the Centennial Cup on the RP Show is brought to you in part by Cavendish Farms, proud supporter of junior hockey across Canada. How about that, mofo? Ring the bell. Brand new sponsor. You guys just casually slid in Cavendish Farms like it was no big deal. It's a very big deal.
That's how we're growing, my man.
Yes, exactly. Welcome, Cavendish Farms. And we love us some Cavendish Farms. By the way, I was going through my emails in the break, and I will say it again. You people in the Toronto area, tune in to Global TV Toronto. Tomorrow I'll be talking CFL strike. So before we get into all the hockey stuff, and continue with the hockey stuff, I'm asking people to give me their predictions on the Stanley Cup playoff games tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And who the heck was it here? Oh, it was John Ohm. I didn't bring my gong. I left it in Florida. But John Ohm, out of Winnipeg, has predicted the Flames will win in overtime 3-2.
Okay.
Nelson Hakowicz, our VP of Sim Events, he's watching. He says, #fire it up. Let's go Flames. The Flames aren't going away quietly. And speaking of Toronto, by the way, Moose, I see over your shoulder Jeff Pearson, the coach of the 3-0 Pickering Panthers, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. We got to get him on the air.
Absolutely.
They are playing at noon Mountain, 2 p.m. Eastern, and you can watch that game on hockeycanada.ca. So as you see, all kinds of things are going on right now, and I'm up for the discussion of all of it. Stephen Jacobson's watching in Crosby, North Dakota. Just across the line, by the way, and he says, big fan of the CFL when they get on the field and play, in all caps, he says. And John in Edmonton's watching, and he says, preseason or no preseason? I just want to talk more hockey, but that's what's going on. These guys can't decide if they're playing or not, and I am not a labor relations expert. I just play one on TV. The fact that these guys are on the field right now, despite having verbally agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement and then voting it down, and then they're practicing, means what? It tells me they're not going to miss any games.
Well,
why would they if they're practicing?
It tells me that two things. One, it tells me they don't know what they're doing, if they're going to miss games or not.
Bingo!
But it also tells me that they're working together, which is a good thing. So if they're on the field, they're working together. That means at least they're willing to continue to negotiate. And you know what? We kind of agreed to this in principle, so we're probably not that far off. So let's keep practicing, let's keep going, whatever, and let's just iron out whatever wrinkles need to be ironed out until we're both happy. If it gets to a point where, the players are being, not negotiating in good faith, the league's like, well, you said this was good, and now you're saying it's bad, like it's not good faith to negotiate like that, then it could get tense, and then we could see a strike again.
Yeah, well, Calgary is going to sew this up with one last thing and put a big bow on it. With the PR war and the things that people are saying about the players, the fans that are saying through social media, and people are saying they're going to tear up their season tickets and lock the players out. There's that, and then what the owners or their reps are saying against people say, oh, you forget. People are just blowing off steam.
Yeah.
But little things add up to big things. And these consistent PR blemishes add up to big things at the end of the day. So it's not good for the CFL. People will still go to the games and they're going to play, but as far as credibility with a league that's battled that for a long time, this is just submarining the league's credibility. That's all that I can say. Now, moving on to a couple other things. There are, of course, 2 Stanley Cup playoff games tonight. The Carolina Hurricanes are at the New York Rangers. It's 2-1 Hurricanes, but the Rangers probably should be up 2-1 in the series. Don't forget, game 1 I watched back in Florida, the Rangers had a 1-0 lead with a minute to go, and they blew it. Hurricanes tied it, came back and won in overtime, similar to what the Oil Kings did to the Ice last night. So this one, but that's the series that nobody really cares about. I feel like even Americans are more into the Battle of Alberta than the American series. Right?
Well, no,
or no?
I don't think so, because you look at the ratings; they're really high for that series. And I think it comes back to that little bad blood that was going on with the ticket sales in Carolina. Not, I think there's a real feud on the East Coast.
That was silly to me.
I don't think it's really came all the way. I just put my hand right in front of the camera.
That's okay. You're young. You'll learn.
I don't think it's came all the way west. I think it's stayed out on the East Coast. A lot of people out there, so the ratings go up really high. But it's been wild watching that series. And then you got Gerard Gallant really upset with the way the Hurricanes handled the end of that game and how the players played. Okay. What Tony DeAngelo's been saying. There's some bad blood there, man.
There's reasons to be excited and watch every series, but I just didn't get a sense that they were as into it. And by the way, with the ratings in America, I say bravo, but you don't think it has a lot to do with the fact the games are on ESPN?
Has everything to do with that.
Right, and more available.
You mix availability with a good storyline, and you got a home run.
Stacey Champagne is watching from Access World TV headquarters and says, timing is terrible for the CFL. That's their responsibility. James in Borden, Manitoba watching says, I hope both the Flames and Oilers lose. That's the great thing about the playoffs is there will be no ties. They will play until there's a winner. The poll question for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, I feel like this is going to go back and forth all day. The results on this. Who wins Game 4 tonight of the Battle of Alberta? 57% say the Edmonton Oilers. As my mom would say, wouldn't that be a trick? If the Oilers go up 3-1 in this series. Oh, man. By the way, the Epoch Times, are you familiar with that newspaper, the Epoch Times?
Yeah.
The right-wing leaning newspaper. They interviewed me on the Battle of Alberta, and that article's coming out later today, I'm told by them. Tomorrow, our poll question yesterday's poll question spawned a story for them at Epoch Times. Is Connor McDavid the most dominant player the NHL's ever seen? You want to take a stab at what the results were on that one yesterday?
Probably no wins, but maybe 60-40.
53% said no, he's not the most dominant player the NHL's ever seen. And interesting, Alan May, who's become like our best friend. Watch your toes, we're going to drop some names here. But Alan May, the Washington Capitals analyst, says McDavid's the best, most dominant player now, but not all time. And I'm like, Alan, we can figure that out for ourselves. I'm joking, of course, sort of. Bow down to Alan May. But you watch for that article coming out tomorrow in the Epoch Times about his Connor McDavid. I don't know if they've written the article yet. You might actually depend on tonight's Game 4 and see what he does tonight.
Yeah, it does. And you look at dominance versus value versus, all the things that make you the greatest of all time. I think when you look at it as his speed and his skill and the way he, processes the game so quickly, it's one of the most dominant things we've ever seen. But in terms of being the greatest of all time or being on that list of the best NHL players, I don't think I'm with Alan where he hasn't passed Sidney Crosby yet. And maybe he's not close to Crosby yet because of the success Crosby had for such a long period of time and then won and was such a great leader. Connor, there's no sign that's telling us that Connor's not on that exact same trajectory, though.
Dude. But this is the discussion. If you took Connor McDavid off these Oilers and plunked him on the 2000s Pittsburgh Penguins, he might have won more Stanley Cups than Sidney.
But if your aunt had nuts,
she'd be my uncle.
Right? And you'd talk about, they'd say that with Martin Brodeur or
and
those
Marcel
guys.
Dayon
If he wasn't playing in New Jersey with that defensive system, he wouldn't be one of the all-time greats. Well, he is one of the all-time greats. I view
it differently. And that is, there's never been a player in NHL history this. He's making the Calgary Flames look like turnstiles. One of the top 5 teams in the NHL.
No doubt.
So that's I guess what my definition of the most dominant player is: individual skills, not team championships. There is a difference.
For sure. And you look at Pittsburgh, who was Brandon Rust, who was Connor Sheary, who was Jake Gensel. Who were these guys, right? And
he made
Sidney
them better
Crosby
players.
made them household names, got everybody bigger contracts. Is Connor going to start doing that with all these other Oilers?
Ryan, watching in Toronto on YouTube, says, hey, Rod, have you ever been asked to help pump up a team before a big game? You'd give a great pregame speech. I have, and I didn't do a very good job of it. And I said to the coach, I was standing beside him in the dressing room, and he's like, Roddy, you say something to the guys. And I got tongue-tied. Then I flubbed it. And then we walked out of the room. I said, you want to give me more than 5 seconds notice? And I'll give him a Newt Rockney-worthy speech. But you want to rally the guys? That's not my job, bro. That's your job. That actually happened. So don't ask. From Boss Split, watching on YouTube, says the cup doesn't determine skill set. That's kind of what I was getting at. It's not about Stanley Cup rings. It's about, to me, individual skill. But certainly fun to debate. By the way, before we break, breaking news, if I can. It's not really news, but I spoke with the Barry Trotz camp today. He has not joined the Winnipeg Jets. So where did we get the scoop from yesterday that he was joining the Winnipeg Jets?
False, fake news, man.
Fake. You are fake news. I talked to the Trotz camp. He's not necessarily, like, it's not that he's not going to Winnipeg, but he hasn't agreed to anything yet. And that kind of... So if Alan May collected on that bet of $100 from his buddy, he's going to have to give it back for now.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, does Trotz go to Las Vegas? Last night up in that suite, somebody said to me, hey, Rod, who is really running the Vegas Golden Knights? Do you actually think Kelly McCrimmon's really running the Vegas Golden Knights? That was the discussion. Like I say, it's all hockey all day, 24/7 here, and I'm here for it. And I said, well, if it's not Kelly McCrimmon, I'd love to know who it is. Fair?
Yeah.
I don't know if you were part of that conversation.
I was.
But I said all these moves have Kelly's fingerprints all over them. They smell like what Kelly does.
How does Kelly be a part of an organization and not call the shots? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I believe Kelly McCrimmon's in charge of the Vegas Golden Knights. And what's going on there and has gone on there is on him, but he's okay with that. That's the way Kelly rolls. Arlen Bruce III is watching right now. Should be in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. He says, number 1, Evander Kane goes for 2 goals tonight, and McDavid scores 1 goal. Oilers win. He says, don't judge me. No, I'm not. I asked you for a prediction. He says the Oilers will win. Kane scores 2, and McDavid scores 1. Like he's getting fancy with this prediction. Moose, I'll see you next hour.
You bet.
Brent Ladd, the president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League, joins us now. Very excited to chat with him. You're watching live from Centennial Cup, presented by Power Dodge. Estevan, the RP show on Game Plus TV, live streaming on YouTube, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
The Rod Pedersen Show, live from Estevan, is presented in part by the award-winning Wanda Heron Photography.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
This is a bedtime story and a rise and shine. A fishing story and an epic night. A place for kids to play and adults to unwind. This is Estevan.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Every kitchen is a restaurant-ish. with Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
On location at the 2022 Centennial Cup, brought to you by the City of Estevan.
You're looking live at Affinity Place, the place to be. Another triple header today, beginning at noon Mountain, and we'll run down the games in a minute. But this week's coverage of the Centennial Cup also brought to you in part by Cavendish Farms, proud supporter of junior hockey across Canada, and Power Dodge Estevan. And who better to talk about Junior A hockey than the president of the entire Canadian Junior Hockey League? Brent Ladd joins us, and a guy that I've known for a few years now. I was searching you out the other day at the rink, Brad. Brent, always good to see you. What a great week it's been.
Yes, it has been, Rod, and thanks for your support of the Junior A program across Canada. I know I follow your program, and I learned from it.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, so today's the first day. You tell me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. We got some games here that have some real meat on the bone. Like every single one today, there's some intrigue to it in the triple header.
Yeah, and I think for the teams that have been successful to date, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow right now is first place, so that they can get that bye out of the quarterfinals and get into the semifinals and save some couple days, some competition. There's a couple teams that are looking to qualify to get into the quarterfinals, so it's going to be an interesting day.
Tell our viewers, if you don't mind, and of course all the games can be watched at hockeycanada.ca, how this format this year is different than, if I'm not mistaken, ever before. For a long time anyways.
Again, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
You're never
thank
wrong,
you.
right?
Yeah, thank you. Commissioners, they're all the same, right? Presidents.
Well, I've said on a couple occasions that as bad as things were going through the pandemic, there were some good things that evolved. One of the things was Zoom calls. We used to meet as a board because of cost and everything, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and through the pandemic, we discovered Zoom, and we were meeting monthly, and so that was sort of one of the good offshoots. But what happened is that traditionally we have 5 teams at this event. We have regional championships, and we gravitate into the national championship with 4 teams and a host. And going into this event this year in January, we were prepared to do the same thing. But we, across the spectrum nationally, we had an imbalance because the teams east of the Manitoba-Ontario border were in shutdown again because of the pandemic. West of that border, they were playing their schedule, and they had interruptions. It wasn't 100%. They had interruptions, but by and large, unscathed. And it appeared that we might be heading for no national championship again this year, and we didn't want to do that for a couple of reasons. Obviously the profile, that would make 3 years we haven't had one, and we have a new sponsor that took this on 3 years ago and hasn't had a chance to come out and present a trophy.
Yeah.
So those things were important to us, and with the assistance of Hockey Canada, and I want to tell you, the people of Hockey Canada have just been absolutely terrific to us, and both in the preparation stages and here on site. They came up with the idea and said, is it possible that we could have all the league champions at the event? And we said, well, that's really off the wall. And the first call you better make is to Estevan to find out,
if they can do it,
whether the infrastructure will support it. And so they made a call, gave them, I think it was 7 to 10 days to get back with an answer, and they got back to us, and lo and behold, said, yeah, we can do it, And so what you did was just kind of almost double your expense, almost double your workload, and then there was the sort of added considerations of, can we do it in one rink? Do we need 2 rinks? How many games a day can we do it, and make sure we have good ice? And because I know we ran into a problem a few years back in Chilliwack, weather got really warm, and we were only playing 2 games a day then. And anyway, everyone made a commitment, and then we had to go back to our Western leagues and said, "You guys okay with this? If we, cancel regionals?" And there was sites in the East that had, put a lot of work into getting ready to host regional championships, and those particular sites, like Summerside and Red Lake, probably some disappointment there. And in retrospect, you see what's going on with the roadways and that up in Northern Ontario, and how we had to scramble to get Red Lake here because of the road washouts. I think if we had the Dudley Hewitt Cup up there at the time that was prescribed, I think there'd be 3 teams still up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, the host committee came back and said, yeah, we can do it. And then there was a lot of planning that went into it. And we said, I think this is going to be a good experience. And part of the thinking, at least on my part, was that for that period of time that we're here, we've got the whole nation involved in this. And we've got interest across the board. Quite often what happens after regional championships, regions get eliminated and interest gets eliminated, you know. And so there's heavy interest on the part of the regions where they have teams competing here. But in those other regions, they get on and start thinking about next season. So hopefully we've got 9 leagues here and 9 geographic footprints across Canada that are interested in what their team's doing.
I hope it continues, yes, because you have fans, like you say, every team has brought their fans, and but I know not every Junior A market could do it. I guess Estevan's a special place. It's clearly a special building, so I guess you got your work cut out for you, but that's why you're the president.
Well, listen, we get a lot of help. Like the governors around our table, the commissioners from our leagues, they're so hockey savvy and they're so prepared to do what's good for the program.
Mm-hmm.
And and a lot of times they've got to go back and sell to their governors and explain why it's important to move forward in a different direction. And so we're talking our host site for next year is Portage, and they've either been here or they're coming in this week to take a look. And at first brush, they said, yeah, we think we can do it too. So I think within a time frame, we put a couple of these together and evaluate, is this a good direction for us? The other thing I think that's really good is that leagues that traditionally are not at this event have an opportunity to grow from it. You know, they come here, they compete, and they say, yeah, we're good in our league, but boy, we've got to get a lot better. And that's a conversation they have when they go home, you know?
Well, I was looking up Red Lake, Ontario on the map the other day. I hadn't heard of it. That's the other thing. You talk about you learning. I'm learning.
Yeah.
And they got beat last night against a team that had to win, and Red Lake never quit. You saw the game, and I'm like, I'm so proud of them. And I don't even know them, but they're champions of their league. Everybody here is champions.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to see them lose, but I was proud of them. They worked hard.
Yeah, they did. And I think that's a conversation that league will have when they go home and say, look, we went there, we competed, and anything happen when you compete. And the beauty of this format is that we boarded from the World Junior Championships. And, if you come in and lose your first game, all is not lost. You can come back into this,
Yeah, well, there was some pretty long faces for the team that lost 2, and that's the host team. But I'm very happy for them, and there's just a lot of tremendous storylines as it's unfolded, and we only have a couple minutes here, but I think you've noticed there's alumni come back for the Bruins. This has been like a reunion thing, and now there's guys changing their flights to stay longer, which is exactly what you'd want.
Absolutely, right? and you hope that the economical impact in the community is sufficient enough to create interest outside of Estevan, for years to come. And you mentioned this being a very special building. It is a special building. And we have to sit down and say, okay, if we continue with this format, how many communities do we eliminate from that possibility? Or do we twin communities, in close proximity? I have very strong familiarity with Ontario, Southern Ontario, where I was president for years. And, there's geographic areas there where, we could twin this in 2 or 3 communities, and within short distances of each other, and make it work. And then there's other communities where there's other Estevans,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Just as before I let you go, you had some kudos or some thank yous you wanted to throw out?
Yeah, I just want to thank the host committee here for all the work they've done and the volunteers that have been on site, and they've been nothing but gracious and welcoming, and this whole community should be very, very proud of what they accomplished.
Absolutely, right, and it's just ramping up. Yeah. Brent, you do a great job. I was always happy to see you here, and maybe we can do it again before the week's out.
Absolutely.
The president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League, Brent Ladd. The Moose will be back after this. Coming up in hour 2, Jason Tatarnik, the head coach and GM of the host Estevan Bruins. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network. We're live streaming on YouTube. And, of course, if you missed any of the show, you can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
The Rod Pedersen Show, live from the 2022 Centennial Cup, proudly presented by the City of Estevan, Saskatchewan. and by award-winning Wanda Heron Photography.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It is a Taco Tuesday here at the Centennial Cup as we move into Taco Time Viewer Takeover. And we do have a lot of great comments from our viewers, but your biggest question is, with $2 tacos at the over 120 Taco Times across Canada, hard or soft shell beef or veggie? I'll leave it up to you to decide on this Taco Tuesday. I'm going to actually jump into a sports update, but I want to read a couple of questions here. Jeff Caldwell is watching in Redmond, Oregon, and he says, I've been anticipating watching the CFL preseason games this week. No USFL for me. I don't know how much longer I can wait. Well, I guess the CFL owners and players are gambling that you will wait. And as it stands now, nothing's been called off other than Monday's game yesterday that was postponed or moved to May 31st. So as it stands right now, nothing's been canceled. Chris in Surrey, BC is watching on Game Plus television, and he says, do you guys know why the BC Hockey League champion is not at the Centennial Cup? It's because they don't want to be. A year ago, the BC Hockey League, maybe 2 years ago now, notified Hockey Canada of their intention to leave the CJHL umbrella, and they did. And they're their own league. Believe me, it's been talked about a lot here this week, why the BC League is not here, but they don't want to be here. They're their own league, and they want to reportedly become a Canadian division of the United States Hockey League. So discuss that amongst yourselves. Sports update, 2 more one-goal games on the weekend, including an OT thriller in a postseason full of them, have pushed the number 1 overall seed Buffalo Bandits into the National Lacrosse League Finals and set up a winner-take-all Western Conference Final between San Diego and Colorado this Saturday night. The Buffalo Bandits edged the Toronto Rock 10-9 in Toronto to win their series 2-0. And the other series, that was the East Final. In the West Final, after falling at home to the Colorado Mammoth last week, the San Diego Seals rebounded for an 11-10 overtime win on Sunday. And it was Dane Dobby scoring in overtime for the winner. So it goes to the Game 3 of the best-of-3 West Conference Final. It will be this Saturday night, San Diego and Colorado, and the game can be watched on TSN and ESPN+. The Battle of Alberta continues tonight in Edmonton with the host Oilers looking to take a 3-1 lead in that second-round Stanley Cup Playoff Series. Flames acknowledging that if they can't stop Connor McDavid, it could be a shorter-than-expected series. McDavid has racked up 23 points in 10 playoff games this spring. New York Rangers look to even their best-of-7 series with the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 4 tonight. The winner of the series moves on to face the Tampa Bay Lightning, who finished off a sweep of the Florida Panthers with a 2-0 win last night at Amalie Arena. Tampa bidding to become the first team in 40 years to capture 3 straight Stanley Cup titles. The start of the CFL preseason is once again in doubt after players voted against ratifying the tentative deal reached last Wednesday between the league and the players. The two sides had reached the tentative 7-year agreement 4 days after players with 7 of the league's 9 teams went on strike. Last minute of play in hour 1. Last minute of play. At issue is contract language surrounding the league's Canadian player ratio. And the Toronto Blue Jays try to shake off Monday's 7-3 loss as they play the second game of their 2-game set with the Cardinals in St. Louis tonight. Toronto sends fireballer Kevin Gausman to the mound against Cardinals pitcher Jordan Hicks. Gausman is 5th in the American League in strikeouts with 57 Ks in 8 starts for the Jays. This Sports Day update brought to you by the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. For Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. And as I look at this, what was the text from Ricky Regina? Ballers, now your official home of spring indoor slow pitch. Oh, slow pitch teams come in after your games. To Ballers Rec Room, Saskatchewan's newest entertainment destination.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Let's just imagine that Steve Armitage is hosting the broadcast tonight. How would that go, Mike?
Oh, thanks, Mark. It's going to be a great series as the Calgary Flames, a fabulous city, up against Edmonton. Edmonton! Germs, disease, sweatpants with good shoes.
Don't bring the hate on Rod. This is all on this end, folks. Be mad at this guy.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah. Coming in hot into hour 2 of the RP show. Hello, everybody. We are live from beautiful Estevan, Saskatchewan. The Centennial Cup presented by Tim Hortons. It's day 7, and hockey is the order of the day. But we've got a lot of football fans chiming in, too, hoping that we can somehow make sense of the chaos that is reigning in the Canadian Football League, now 72 hours away from the CFL preseason lid lifter. We welcome back to the program here the Moose, Darren Dupont. How you doing, Moose?
I'm doing really good.
Good.
Yeah.
You're just sitting over there having coffee, visiting with everybody. I'm over here having coffee, visiting with everybody.
It's the greatest, I tell you.
They call this work.
Yeah.
We do have a new sponsor. I got to bring it in here. And it's not, I don't know why I'm searching for the liner. It's not the most complicated liner to read.
No.
This week's coverage of the Centennial Cup is brought to you in part by Cavendish Farms, proud supporter of junior hockey across Canada. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Can I tell you a funny story? There's some coaches over here. There's some GMs. There's some Hall of Famers just 35, 40 feet away from me. They're talking amongst themselves and don't care that we're on the air live. Psst. But the president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League was in here last hour, and in the interview, you didn't probably hear it. Were you able to hear it where you were?
Very little.
Well, a few pucks off the old melon here. He says in the interview, he goes, well, we got a new sponsor for the Centennial Cup, but we have been waiting 3 years to hand it out.
I did hear this.
And I said, I'm sorry, Brent, who's the sponsor? He goes, Tim Hortons. Oh! Right.
But I'm with you thinking
it was going to be the Tim Hortons Cup.
What I was thinking was probably what you were thinking was that they got a new sponsor they're unveiling for next year, like that's coming on board with Tim Hortons, like as somebody new, like.
No, so he said that he's fought for 20 years. He's been around this little gig for 20 plus years. He goes, I've been wanting to get it back named the Centennial Cup for over 20 years. And he goes, we finally got it, the Centennial Cup, presented by Tim Hortons. So, it's the free coffee and donuts you've been eating all week. That's the sponsor, idiot. Oh. Here we are. So we can talk. There's a lot of heat coming from the West.
Yeah.
The Battle of Alberta, Game 4 tonight. And that is our poll question, by the way. You can throw up the logo, guys, if you want, for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center with dealerships all across the prairies. But I don't think the results mean a whole heck of a lot because it's what was it, 53% saying Edmonton?
Now got up to 59% Edmonton on Twitter last time I checked. I had it right here.
Well, we're going to do a
59%.
59% saying Edmonton. Wow. Well, let's get into it on a hockey discussion. And if you want to talk about the CFL labor unrest, I'm more than happy to do that. Coming up later on in this hour, by the way, the head coach and GM of the Estevan Bruins, Jason Tatarnik. They're the host team of this tournament, who got a much-needed win last night over Red Lake, Ontario, to be back in it.
Yeah.
Like in Dumb and Dumber. Totally redeem themselves and have a chance to be playing on the weekend. But to Game 4 tonight, well, I voted in the poll. I'm not going to say who I think is going to win tonight, but I just think, what a series. Just swinging back and forth. I don't know if this is this Mercury in retrograde thing, but you got to say, these Stanley Cup playoffs, expect the unexpected. They have not gone the way we've thought.
No, they have to expect it. And I think, the 59% saying Edmonton's going to win, it's a lot of recency bias, too, with the way that Edmonton's been playing. I think after Game 1, you thought Calgary's just going to roll to 4 straight wins. No big deal. But Edmonton pushed back in Game 2 is pretty even game. Game 3 was all Edmonton. So they both dominated a game, and there's been a game that's fairly even that Edmonton won. So tonight, I think Calgary desperately needs to get that split, and Edmonton regain home ice advantage. I mean, down 3-1, I still wouldn't panic if I was Calgary. Down 3-1, they can still win the series, but I think it's a monumental game tonight.
I don't know. Do we consider the Flames a young team? Because I don't. They've been around. The newcomers, Blake Coleman's won a Stanley Cup. Tyler Toffoli's been around a long time and won a Stanley Cup in L.A. They should know better. Jacob Markstrom's no kid, but they seem to be in these games getting a little unraveled. And Milan Lucic won a Stanley Cup. They're not kids.
No.
The Oilers more so are the kids, and the Oilers are playing like the better team right now, and that's why I say, who saw this coming? I didn't. And, I said, have they voted for GM of the Year or not? Because Ken Holland, look what he's done. All those moves have paid off. And there's a guy here, I don't mind saying, actually I shouldn't say. He was an Oilers season ticket holder. He probably wouldn't want me naming him, but he said he gave his season tickets up because he didn't like the Cates administration and the way that they took advantage of the fans and just took advantage of our love for the team and thought we'd always be there. And I didn't have the heart to say, well, now you're back. They did runs like this, and you're right back.
Wins.
Right.
Yeah, winning brings you right back, and times are good again in Edmonton. Feels like eons ago that we were talking about Edmonton having a failed, miserable season. They weren't going to make the playoffs, and everybody was going to get fired, and we got to blow this up, and McDavid's going to want to trade. No, McDavid's grabbed everybody by the coattails, and away we go. And he's pulling them along, which is great. It's what you want to see out of him, and that's just he's creating his own legacy. But the series is far from over. Just because they played really well, in Game 3, series is a long way from over.
I said Flames in 6. It could still happen. Mm-hmm. It could go 7, or it could go 5. And we're going to find out a lot tonight of what the Calgary Flames are made of. We're going to find out a lot what the Edmonton Oilers are made of, too.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what's exciting about the Stanley Cup playoffs. But so many people last night, again, people probably just tuning in for Hour 2, our coverage at the Centennial Cup brought to you by Power Dodge Estevan and Cavendish Farms. But it's just hockey is the talk all the time. And so in that suite last night, thank you, Daisy and Estevan, they're saying, Rod, are you going to go to Tampa Bay now? Did you see Tampa sweeping Florida? And I said, no. I saw the Panthers winning it in 7. That was my prediction. I'm still smarting. I didn't want it. We were a little rushed, I felt, last hour for time, but we're okay here. I do live one day at a time. So I know that's not great for you. It's not great for a lot of people in my life, but I got to live that way. So to be sane.
Yeah.
Where I get overwhelmed. So now the idea of going back to Florida on the weekend here when this is up, the Panthers are done. I had planned lovingly for a long spring run and driving to the rink 27 miles away in Sunrise and watching the Panthers maybe lift the Stanley Cup. Do I want to go 3.5 hours now to watch Tampa? Probably. You probably would, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now, like I said, when I said there was people trolling me. They might even be watching right now. Dan Goodspeed, CFL great lineman, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Goody, stop tagging me in your posts about the Lightning. And I thought that he was just sweeping me up in it, right? So I responded, hey, if you can't beat him, join him. And I put a photo of me in the Lightning gear at their Stanley Cup party last year. And he's like, oh, you're a Lightning fan now. Well, what am I supposed to do? Piss and moan all summer that the Panthers are out? I'm going to get on board.
Yeah. Well, and the number of times in the last, what do you want to say, like 3-4 months that I've driven 8 hours from Regina to Calgary and then back and then back.
It's nothing you're saying.
3.5, it's like.
Good point.
I'd do that in a day trip, right? I'd go there, watch the game come. But anyways.
Well, and by the way.
At least go for 2, right? Go for the 2 games.
You people that watch this show all the time, you're kind of getting an idea of how I roll. There was a former Hartford Whalers goalie here last night, and you were standing there for the chat. What, 60 feet away from us right now? He's like, oh, now you're a Lightning fan, and oh, I'm best friends with a Sutter, so I'm a Flames fan, and I grew up an Oiler fan, and oh, Vegas is my team. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but what am I supposed to do? He's like, I would be doing the exact same thing. He's like, I watch the show, and it's fun. And good for you. Because I wish I could do it the way you're doing it.
What do we say? You're Cameron Hughes with the T-shirts. It's like, oh, Oilers. And then the Flames win. You rip off the T-shirt. You got a Flame shirt underneath. Right? You're a Panther fan, but you got the Tampa shirt ready to go underneath.
Yeah. My brother completely understands it because he said to me, you don't have one team got their hooks in you and can tell you what to do. So it's nice. What's the show? You said Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
Zing, zing all over the place?
Yeah.
That's us.
Just when you come here, I'm already there, right?
And here's the thing. Nobody can predict where we're going because we don't know where we're going.
Correct.
Yeah. So we've sufficiently covered that. I can spend a minute or two on what's going on in the CFL. And I see that our viewership has just cracked into the highest of the day. So if you tuned in for CFL discussion, you tell me, because nobody seems to know. When Dave Naylor, who not only is the ultimate CFL insider, but is also the unofficial PR arm of the Canadian Football League, says this is chaos, and the CFL has never undergone what it's undergone this week, don't come to me to figure out how this is going to go, because nobody knows how it's going to go. That agent said to me on the weekend, pretty esteemed agent in CFL history, says it doesn't look like the owners or the players know what they're doing. But I was like, well, they got a deal done, so that's positive, and they're on the field, and they're going to be and then this. So nobody really knows what's happening. And again, the reports today, that's the beautiful thing about daytime sports talk, is we can give the analysis on the fly, is the training camps are underway. We know for sure they're on the field in Montreal. We've heard they will be in Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. So my thing is, you voted down the agreement in ratification, yet you're still willing to go practice. It doesn't make me think that they know what they're doing, but you say that it's a good sign of good faith and that this is a good sign. Like, if they're practicing now, why would you not think that they're going to play on the weekend?
No, you should. You should, like, if they're practicing and playing, you should think that they're just working through details and trying to get this approved, and everything's good. You know, we'll keep going without a CBA. We'll play. We're good. If they go to the negotiating table and realize that somebody was dealing in bad faith, then we're going to start hearing the strike word again, right? But until that happens, there's no reason to think that they won't be able to iron this out.
But they always negotiate in bad faith, these owners. Like, the owners the players are on the field in good faith. That's what players do. They're the good guys. But I think for those that tuned in, if you want an answer on whether they're going to be playing this weekend or not, I'll say it again. There's no reason to think that they won't be playing this weekend, and that's the positive. But, you know, up in these luxury suites, it hasn't, I guess, been all hockey. I was talking to Paul from Minneapolis last night, who's probably watching right now, and we talked about the NFL. And he just said, well, you're smiling because he gave you a ride home last night. You love this Paul now, right?
Of course. Gave me a ride.
They're all great
I'm
guys.
Indebted forever.
I've been in bed sleeping for 3 hours by the time he rolled in. But anyways, you're far younger than me. He goes, the NFL. How do you compete with that brand? You just don't. I don't think the other major leagues want to compete with the NFL brand in America.
I got 4 news releases from the NFL this morning.
What were they saying?
4.
What were they saying?
One was about diversity. One was a different press conference they were having. There was 4 different news releases that I had from NFL PR this morning about 4 different separate things. They're always moving. It's like the guy in Mortal Kombat with 4 arms on each side, right?
Yeah.
Hitting you 8 different ways, right? That's the NFL.
They know what they're doing.
But they haven't always been there. They built that machine, and now it's rolling. You still got to build what you're doing.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, because we all expect there'll be football. There's going to be football, and I think that they're going to be playing this weekend. So to say that there won't be is silly. And Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, Rod, may I suggest the Telus patio at historic McMahon Stadium the week of June 9th for the CFL opener? You may suggest it, but we'll be back in Calgary later than that. I haven't looked at the CFL schedule. I can guarantee you we won't be there June 9th for the opener or whatever that game is. But we'll be in Calgary, and I would love to be broadcasting. I have to be in Florida at that time. Tacona Powley chiming in from Winnipeg. He says, ice, ice, baby. He goes, is Savoy done? I don't know the injury status of Matthew Savoy, but they lost last night, by the way, if you noticed, in overtime, and Edmonton blew a late lead. What a series that East Finals become.
Very good.
Between Winnipeg and Edmonton.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't so far. I want to go.
And they played in the Big House last night, by the way, with the Oilers Flames. Edmonton, the place to be for hockey right now. Wayne in Victoria, BC says, hey, Rod, does the CFL Players Association know what the players want? The Players Association agreed to an agreement that the players rejected. Again, not a labor relations expert here. I just play one on TV. But each team has player reps, representatives. So that, and I don't even need you to confirm this. The Players Association leaders and the CFL owners were meeting, and the reps agreed verbally to the proposal. Right?
Yeah.
After they'd been on strike for 4 days. The reps. But then the players have to vote on it, and it was the players that voted it down. So what looks disjointed here is just simply, what do you have reps for if they don't accurately reflect what the players want? And this is, I would like to think that they're just getting this all straightened around now, once and for all, but they're not. The dichotomy of the CFL, you've got Canadian players, American players, older players, younger players, offensive players, defensive players, and don't think that's a small thing because the ratio is affected in that, right? I don't know that they could ever straighten it out.
Well, look at the CFLPA side. If I think about it, if we're a leadership of the CFLPA negotiating with the CFL, and we sit at the table and think, okay, this looks like a deal we can sell to our players. I think this covers what they want.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And then you go take it to the players and say, guys, here's what we think. You got to vote on it. And they say no. We're sitting here being like, okay, maybe we don't know what the players want. And we got to figure that out. And then come back to the table. Because we thought this deal was going to be pretty good. We thought the players wanted this.
But that's why we have a democracy, and that's why we have a vote. And
the process is taking longer.
Yes, yeah. And they should have been doing it earlier, and that's on the owners. Both sides have blood on their hands with this. And, again, I read the news line from the Canadian press last hour where it said the CFL preseason's again in jeopardy because of this. This is what the world thinks about you guys. That's what Joe Blow, John Q. Public thinks, is that you might not play preseason now. So, just sort it out.
Yeah.
Moose, I'll see you a little later, okay?
You bet.
The head coach and the general manager of the host team, the Estevan Bruins, joins us live here on location at Affinity Place when we come back. You're watching the RP Show, Daytime Sports and Entertainment Talk. It's episode number 763, live from beautiful Estevan, Saskatchewan on the Game Plus television network. We're also streaming on YouTube live daily. And you can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
The Rod Pedersen Show, live from Estevan, is presented in part by the award-winning Wanda Heron Photography.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
This is a bedtime story and a rise and shine. A fishing story and an epic night. A place for kids to play and adults to unwind. This is Estevan.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
The Rod Pedersen Show, brought to you by Power Dodge Estevan.
And you're looking live at beautiful Estevan, Saskatchewan. Our coverage is brought to you in part by Cavendish Farms, proud supporters of junior hockey in Canada. And promotional consideration brought to you in part by Tough Tribe for Men. It contains aloe vera, botanicals, and antioxidants traditionally known for their scalp and hair benefits. We're part of the clean beauty industry. Welcome to Clean Beauty for Men. Available today at toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4, toughtribeformen.com, and Amazon Canada. So we have the CFL potentially going back on strike. We got the Battle of Alberta, Game 4 tonight. But we're here, as you heard, for the Centennial Cup. And I said to Jason Tatarnik, let's bring him in now, the head coach and general manager of the Estevan Bruins, that he's got a little more of a spring in his step today after his team won 6-2 last night over the Red Lake Miners. Congrats on the win, Coach.
Thanks. Yeah, a little bit more of a spring. But
talk about a must-win. You did it.
Yeah, you win, you stay alive for another day, and we'll see what happens today. And there's some different scenarios that could happen, and we'll just have to wait and see.
If you don't mind, we're going to talk about all things hockey here, although I know you're hosting this tournament. You're watching Stanley Cup Playoffs, though, as much as you can, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
You're a hockey guy.
Yeah, I poke my head in there. So
yeah, so I got to tell you this. I think today, by my math, is day 7 of the Centennial Cup, but it's our only second day on the air. And when we came in yesterday, the Bruins had already lost 2 games. So they had to win last night against Red Lake. And here's my point I'm getting at is, Alan Mays here, Bruins alum, Washington Capitals analyst. He's getting set up to do a hit for CBS last night in your office before this must-win game. I felt sheepish, man. I'm like, I don't think we should be in Tart's office. This is the biggest game. But you were very casual last night.
Yeah, I don't get too nervous. I've been doing
Clearly.
I've been doing it for a while. And
did it bother you we were in there?
No, not at all. Actually, I even gave the Sault Ste. Marie team our lounge before our 7 o'clock game, so they could stay on this side for an intermission. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, like it's, you can only control what you can control, and that's what happens on the ice. And all the other things it just doesn't really matter. It doesn't.
Yeah, but the exciting thing, you've coached in Royal Bank Cups, Centennial Cups, whatever before, and you see that this is the one thing I knew because I've been around Memorial Cups, Grey Cups. This time of year, things are elevated. There's going to be chaos in your rink and it goes with it, right?
Yeah, it does, and especially this year with the 10 teams, it makes things a lot busier, and I think it's been great for the tournaments. It makes it a tougher format, and makes a smaller margin of errors for you. So, which we found out with our slow start. So, yeah, it makes it a little bit tougher, but it makes it a little bit more exciting at the same time.
Well, let's get into it, and they're just hockey fans, our viewers, so they'll get this. Jason's team won the SJHL championship and a Saskatchewan championship in a 7-game series against the Flin Flon Bombers. And I honestly thought before I even got here, Jason, I'm like, well, you're getting your rings, you're raising your banner, you did your job. Did that creep into your guys with the 0-2 start?
I've shared with a few people. It's we didn't get into our rink here until Tuesday before the tournament, and when you get on that ice finally, there's no rink boards on there, different logos. I almost felt like you're in a different rink. You almost didn't feel like you're at home, and then when you finally, as it goes again on Thursday before we play on Friday, we're not in our rink practicing, we're in the secondary one. And then for the first game, you come out, you're not coming out at the same time to your video. You're not doing everything that
you don't have your same announcer. You don't have the same music. You don't.
No, it's not.
Right.
You almost feel like you're on the road, and that's no excuse of how we perform. But there's just little things that are different, and these are young players. They're young kids, and little things can throw people off. But at the same time, you have to regroup quickly, be strong mentally, and get at it. And I thought that's where we kind of lacked the first 2 games was the mental side of the game, and it cost us a few
Plus
times.
you had leads in both.
That's the kicker, right? We had a couple of leads, and we had a few mental breakdowns, and they came back to bite us, and we ended up losing those 2 games.
Please tell the viewers and me, because I'm not the brightest guy in the world, the scenarios today. So the Pickering Panthers 3-0 play the Brooks Bandits at noon Mountain right here. The fans are coming into the building right now. Warm-up's going to start right away. Brooks 2-0, Alberta champs. And then Dauphin Kings 2-0, Manitoba champions against Flin Flon, who are 2-1 at 4. And then it's Longueuil, Quebec, 1-1-1. They're 1-1-1 versus Red Lake, Ontario, who are 0-3 tonight. What has to happen for your team?
Yeah, this is an exciting day for scenarios. The first game, if Pickering beats Brooks, we'll play Brooks on Wednesday, and it comes down to a showdown between us and Brooks. If we beat Brooks, the tiebreaker goes head-to-head, so we would advance. And then if you look at the second game of Flin Flon, if Flin Flon loses that game and Ottawa wins their game the next day, then Flin Flon would be out. And then later tonight, Longueuil and Red Lake play. If Red Lake wins, that plays into our favor again. If we can beat Brooks, then we would advance that way as well. But the only pickle that comes into it is if Longueuil wins in overtime or a shootout, then we all have the same amount of points if we beat Brooks, and then there'll be a 3-way tie, and it gets a little messy.
So they've brought in KPMG, accounting company, to figure out the standings here. But that's what you want. And as I mentioned that you've been around Centennial Cups before, Royal Bank Cup. Was it just Chilliwack or was there more?
Yeah, when I was in Woodstock, New Brunswick, we went and played in Humboldt. We lost the national championship final against Penticton by a goal with a minute left in the game. So Yeah, they're fun tournaments to be part of. I tell the players, enjoy it, embrace it. Even though we lost in 2012 in the finals, it's something you remember, being part of that tournament, playing against the best teams in the country, and it's just something you never forget.
Yeah, well, how do you feel about this format? I mentioned to you that Brent Ladd, the president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League, was here last hour. He's loving the 10 teams. I'm loving the 10 teams. You've been part of the old format. So what do you like better in terms of the format and just the atmosphere, that there's fans here from all across the country?
Yeah, it keeps that interest nationally into the tournament, and it gives players an opportunity from all the leagues as a champion to experience the national championship, and that's something that not everyone gets to experience because of regionals. And if you look at Summerside, Longueuil, Ottawa, those are 3 really good teams, and only one would have been here.
Right.
So I think it's great to have as many teams as you can, so players can experience what it's like to be on a national stage.
Yeah, well, that's what's great about Jason. If you don't mind, tell our viewers that you've coached all across this country in Junior A.
Yeah, a few different provinces: BC, Saskatchewan, Ontario, New Brunswick. In New Brunswick, you're playing against 3 different provinces: Nova Scotia and PEI. So I've been around and got to know a lot of people, and I get a laugh. I see all the commissioners come here. I probably know 5 or 6 of them personally.
Yeah.
So it's good to catch up with those guys, and yeah, I just think it's a great environment.
I think it's a wonderful environment, and for those that are watching, you can watch all the games on hockeycanada.ca live streaming, and Sunday's final will be aired on TSN. But from your perspective, is it a little more chaotic with twice as many teams as normal?
Yeah, it's a little bit busier. You definitely need a community that can host 10 teams, or the 9 teams coming in. You need a facility that can accommodate it. Maybe there's moving down the road, maybe there's joint communities that do it that maybe are an hour away from each other. I think there's a bunch of different scenarios you can do to carry this on. Maybe if they find it's not sustainable, maybe you go down to 8 teams, and maybe you only have 2 teams from Ontario come instead of the 4. But the part of that I don't like is there's 2 leagues that don't get to experience it. So I'm still in favor of the 10, and if it means it comes back to Estevan every 5 years, we'll take it.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And my guess is you probably have no idea what's going on in this city because you're in the bubble of your own team. Or maybe you're on top of everything that's going on in this city. But there's these Bruins alumni that have come from all across the continent for a bit of a reunion type thing, and they're now changing their flights to stay longer. And we got the banquet on Thursday night with Craig Button speaking at it, and myself, and now Alan May. You couldn't have dreamt up a better scenario for a party. I'm sure you're not aware of the party that's going on, but it's the town's rocking.
Oh, it is. The restaurants and hotels are sold out, and like you said, the alumni are here, and that's the neat thing about Estevan. Speak on behalf of the alumni. So strong, probably the best alumni association I've been part of. So passionate, and they care. That's great for our players to see because they can jump right into the alumni community right away after they're done here. And I know we had players from last year jumped in right away, and we had players from last year come to watch this year.
Of course.
So I think it's just amazing what they've done with that alumni, and I know we're very blessed with it, and we're very fortunate.
As you know, this is my favorite SJHL team, and I've got a tremendous history with this franchise, but something that's jarred in my mind, and this is going far too fast for me, but I have all the Bruins alumni that are checking our feeds for updates on the Bruins and Bruins news and so forth, and the pressure just flashed in my mind. That's the one thing that I've heard since I got here, is the pressure that was on your team all year hosting this thing. I never even thought about it, and it was dumb of me to overlook that. What's that been like?
Yeah, I know it's been quite a bit of work, a lot of 7 a.m. meetings, and our chairs and our volunteers, everyone that was involved in it did a great job. And for us as a team, obviously there's pressure to perform here, but the one thing is we came in as a champion. We're going to leave here as a champion no matter what happens, and 9 teams are going to leave here unhappy. Only one team's going to win. So, you still have to be proud of what you accomplish. And then when we go into that game on Wednesday, we're still a champion, and we're going to play another champion. We're going to see who the better team is on Wednesday. That's all you can do each day, and unfortunately, we came up short twice.
Yeah.
But you're playing against the best, so it's a good experience.
But I know this town and I know this province, and I just wonder if you had that moment that a fan came up to you in Tim Hortons or the Co-op and said, "You'd better win this thing." Did you? I bet you did.
You know what? Fans are passionate, but it's funny. You can go from a hero to a zero pretty quick in this game, and experienced that before. But you know, the thing is, people have to remember these are just kids, right? They're young kids. You know, there's the best players in our country are playing major junior. They move on. There's players that are going to college hockey. There's players that are at this level for a reason, and they're just kids. They're going to make mistakes, and they're just kids that love to play that game of hockey, and they go out and play, and sometimes they're fantastic, sometimes they're not so great, and that's the beauty of hockey. It's a very emotional game, especially for fans. You know, I sat there yesterday, I was by a Flin Flon fan, and it was real high when they scored the first goal, and then it turned real low after that, and that's the game. It's full of emotions, and just have to remember at the end of the day, they're just young kids trying to play a game.
Well, it has been exactly what I'd hoped. I wouldn't say it exceeded my expectations, because my expectations were high, and they've met them. So congrats so far, and good luck finishing the job.
Yeah, we'll cross our fingers, and we'll watch some games today and see what happens.
Thanks, Tarts.
Thanks, Rod.
Jason Tatarnik, the head coach and general manager of the host Estevan Bruins here at the Centennial Cup, presented by Tim Hortons. The Moose will rejoin us and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about the rest of the way on this Taco Tuesday. We'll start Taco Time viewer takeover early. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Rod Pedersen, back in Canada. He must be lost. On location, brought to you by the city of Estevan. Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Every kitchen is a restaurant. Ish. With Cavendish Farms restaurant-style fries.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Lot of slime, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
All right, it looks nice out there, but it's bedlam inside that place, Affinity Place, as the RP show continues on this Tuesday. And just before we bring the Moose back in, a sports update. The Battle of Alberta continues tonight in Edmonton with the host Oilers looking to go up 3-1 in their Stanley Cup second-round best-of-7 series. Elsewhere tonight, the New York Rangers promising to bring the muscle to MSG and try to level their series with the Carolina Hurricanes, who lead it 2-1. NBA playoffs, Jason Tatum scored 31, and the Boston Celtics took their turn, pounding the Miami Heat Monday night, leveling their best-of-7 NBA Eastern Conference final at 2-2. Game 5 Wednesday in Miami. Tonight, the Golden State Warriors will be looking for a series sweep in the Western Conference Finals with a game in Dallas against the Mavericks. The Blue Jays will be looking to bounce back in St. Louis tonight after a tough 7-3 loss to the Cardinals on Monday. Paul Goldschmidt hit a walk-off grand slam in the 10th, lifting the Cards to the Major League win. Blue Jays continue to struggle at the plate, especially with runners in scoring position, but it's still May, as Arash will tell you. And finally, a lot of news, or a lot of people talking about this in Western Canada. CFL players have rejected the new collective bargaining agreement with the CFL. According to a source, CFL players voted against ratifying the tentative deal reached Wednesday of last week between the league and the Players Association. The source spoke on the condition of anonymity Monday, as neither the CFL nor the CFL Players Association immediately confirmed that the vote even took place. But in a memo to its membership late Monday night, the union wrote there wasn't enough support from the players on this contract. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. I had mine today. Order yours at g2gbars.ca. Use the promo code RPShow and get 20% off. Okay, the Moose. Darren Dupont is with us. I guess it hasn't been that long since I saw you. You did do the opening segment here of Hour 1.
Yep.
But you've been visiting with all the hockey people over here to our left. They're all enjoying the show, I guess, but it seems like they're all kibitzing. What's the buzz? What's the vibe?
Well,
as my dad would say.
They're all geared into this game. And one thing we're going to see today, talking this tournament that we didn't see yesterday because of the holiday, school buses are bringing kids by. So you're going to see more of the kids in the building today. So the crowd's going to be good. We've seen the Pickering fans rolling around, and they're getting their steps in, working off that nervous energy. So this is a big game, and they're all tuned in. I know Jason's a little bit nervous, right?
Tatarnic.
Yeah, needing Pickering to win today. So they're all just in love with this. They all want to talk about the show. It's just a really great time.
Well, it has been great, and I can't quite figure out how this works. Like, for instance, yesterday, half of Flin Flon's here.
Yeah.
You noticed that, right? And we're just thinking that as we get closer to the weekend, Now the NHL people are coming in. I mean, there's already been some, but there's more coming in this weekend. And you got guys that, do you want so-and-so on your show? Do you want so-and-so on your show? Of course I do. So producer Clark, stay on your toes, because I think it's going to be in a state of flux here, because it's day 7 and we haven't even hit the crescendo yet.
I know.
Have you noticed that? It's going to get wilder.
It is going to get, more wild
and do you think
every
fans,
day.
That's my question to you and the viewers. If, let's say, Pickering Panthers of Pickering, Ontario makes a final against Summerside PEI, if that's possible, pool-wise, do you think people will fly in from those regions? I guess we'll find out. I mean, they have some of their fans here now.
They
but
may.
Will more come for the
They
weekend?
may, because what's going to happen is teams are going to be eliminated. They're going to leave, which is going to open up hotel availability.
That's what I'm saying.
And then all of a sudden you can go back to those markets and say, we just freed up, 30 rooms. And Bob's your uncle, right? So, I could see it if a team gets in there for sure. Not in Cray. We're not going to see this building packed with Summerside fans. We're not going to see 2,000 of them roll in, but you're going to see probably a few.
How do we know?
Yeah.
This is all new.
It is new.
There's never been a 10-team Centennial Cup before.
No, there hasn't.
From Tacona, watching in Winnipeg. Sounds like a great time in Estevan, Rod. Yeah. It said to Moose, hey, they're paying us to be here. We should be paying them.
But
it's on them.
It's unbelievable. And those are the relationships that work the best, right? When you hear it, everybody's so happy to have us, and I'm like, well, we're so happy that you'll have us to be here. And the relationships. I mean, we've been treated to the Estevan experience times 10.
Jeff in Winnipeg writes in and he says, is Canada done at the Worlds? Saw they lost to Denmark yesterday. Like I say, I don't really pay attention to the Worlds unless we're winning, and they lost to Denmark. And did they play this morning? It was on in the gym, and I was talking to the guy beside me.
I think that was the Denmark game.
It was a replay?
I think.
Okay. That's
how much we're dialed in.
Tony Cernick watching on you. Do you want to interview NHLers coming to Estevan? Yes, we do. As early as tomorrow, I think. I assume Lenny was lining that up with you?
No.
Okay. It's one day at a time. That's what we try and do here. And by the way, I really, really enjoyed the interview with Brent Ladd, the president of the Canadian Junior Hockey League, in Hour 1, where he explained this 5-team pools. He goes, we just borrowed it from the World Juniors. I'm like, don't! I didn't even know that. It's the same format. They just borrowed it.
Yeah.
So it's not really that complicated.
Okay.
But they are awarding 3 points for a regulation win and 2 for an overtime win.
Yes. Every game is worth 3 points. So if it goes to overtime, there's still 3 points to get divvied up. 2 for the win, 1 for the loss. Right? 3 points for a regulation win. That's why Estevan still has a chance here. They're sitting at 3 points. We're looking at Longueuil with 4, right? Estevan can win tomorrow night and overtake them.
We're going to take a timeout. Something has happened with the internet. We're still coming through, but not as clear as you might see. We got 1 segment left.
Yeah.
Taco time viewer takeover, and as the building fills up, who knows, something's happened, but we'll get through it, and we'll be right back one more time from Affinity Place in Estevan. We'll be right back with a Taco Time viewer takeover. You are watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
The Rod Pedersen Show, brought to you by Power Dodge Estevan. Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
This is a bedtime story and a rise and shine. A fishing story and an epic night. A place for kids to play and adults to unwind. This is Estevan.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
On location at the 2022 Centennial Cup, brought to you by the City of Estevan.
All right.
You still got this, right?
Okay, welcome back. Dun, 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 dun.
We
We're
promised, right?
We still have that issue? We still have that issue?
I don't know what it is, guys. We got blazing fast internet. I did a test.
Oh, we're
Okay.
stable. Okay, thank you.
Stable is good.
It's more than I can say for ourselves.
You should have seen him scram. Like, I can only now imagine what it's like on College Game Day when Lee Corso's getting everything ready for the unveiling.
You just saw it.
Rod was scrambling so much that we almost had to come back on a one shot of me to Phil until he was ready.
As I said, I will unveil in this segment who I think will win Game 4 of the Battle of Alberta tonight. Oilers home to the Flames, round 2 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. However, it is viewer takeover. We've got plenty of time in this segment, and there's a few things that I want to mention here. Number one, we're welcoming to the program today Cavendish Farms. Our coverage of the Centennial Cup is brought to you in part by Cavendish Farms, proud supporters of junior hockey in Canada. Sean Kay, watching in Surrey, BC, writes that he says, Cavendish Farms, the best fries out there. Well done, boys. Well, thank you, Cavendish Farms, for coming on board. Jim Wagner, watching in Balgony, South, says, Roddy, your location today reminds me of the organ player from Slapshot, up in the rafters. Loving the show. Good day, all. Don't think I didn't think about that. With warm-ups going on and then morning skates before that, I am in prime position to take one off the noggin.
I know, but the mesh netting's behind you, so we're okay. You're safe.
Wouldn't be the first time, and you never know.
No, I know.
You never know.
Goes up high for sure.
There was a gal from ESPN that took, I think, was it a baseball off the noggin last week? And I hope she's okay. I never heard the end of that.
I know, I didn't either.
But I feel like if I took one off the head, I'd be proud to.
Yeah, you'd wear it. You'd probably just let it bleed.
And take one for the team.
And roll on.
I'd be part of a pretty exclusive club if we did that. Phil Thompson's watching on Game Plus TV in Dauphin, Manitoba. He says, good day, good day. It's provincial battle day. He's talking about Dauphin versus Flin Flon here at 4 p.m. Mountain. He says, I love that background, by the way. I was a little saddened, but not surprised about bad news from the CFL. Hopefully some kind of agreement can come soon. Regarding the poll question, my gut tells me it's Oilers taking Game 4 by a score of 3-1. Eagerly awaiting the Battle of the Bison. Two Manitoba teams. We named it today. The Battle of the Bison. Bison Battle.
That's good.
Hashtag Go Kings. Hashtag Bob's your uncle. On that CFL thing, from the Twitter account CFL Today, they write, I am hearing that several players within the league are really pushing fellow teammates, American and Canadian, to accept the new proposed CBA. One source also quoted, quote, the locker rooms are heated right now. We're just trying to play, unquote. Per source, hopefully this gets resolved. I wish they could just tell how bad it looks. I know, but I'm going to say it again. I'll be on Global Toronto tomorrow morning, 7:10 Eastern. And the conversation went like this. Global Toronto this morning said, Rod, we heard you on Hamilton Radio, CHML. Do you want to come on Global Toronto Wednesday morning? Absolutely. I said, I don't know, but I can tell you how it looks. And it's not good. So there's that. And then with Alan May going on CBS last night, and Darren did all the hookups with Alan May putting him on CBS, we're turning Estevan into CNN Atlanta headquarters. This is the place to be.
It really is. We go out to Estevan, which is now the mecca for all these international broadcasts. They're all coming into Estevan, which is pretty cool.
It's exactly what we wanted. It's what they wanted.
Very, very cool.
One last thing here in viewer takeover before we have even more fun. Today at the Centennial Cup presented by Tim Hortons, I get a mild headache trying to figure this out. I don't expect you people to figure it out at all. You got to bring in KPMG to figure out all the permutations for the games. But today at noon, in moments, Pickering, Ontario, Pickering Panthers versus the Brooks Bandits. Both teams are unbeaten. This is a playoff game. Come early.
Yes.
4 p.m., 2-0 Dauphin Kings versus the 2-1 Flin Flon Bombers. Bobby Clark and Reggie Leach's old team. And then at 7:30 tonight, Longueuil, Quebec versus Red Lake, Ontario. The winners of their respective leagues. If Longueuil loses,
Estevan's got a chance.
Estevan's in, but they got to beat
Red
Brooks.
Lake is out. Pickering is in.
Yeah.
We got 3 teams that need to get in, right?
NHL scouts just knocking down the doors, coming through here like it's no big deal.
So it's either the other 2 spots are either going to be Brooks, Longueuil, or Estevan. 2 of those 3 can get in. So Estevan needs Longueuil to lose and Brooks to lose, right, to improve their chances. They both play today.
Just watch it all on hockeycanada.ca, and the final will be on TSN on Sunday. The poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, who wins Game 4 Tuesday night of the Battle of Alberta? Calgary Flames or Edmonton Oilers? 59% have voted for the Edmonton Oilers. 59% have voted for the Edmonton Oilers. And now, here today as we close the show, it's the host prediction. Are you ready? I voted, but...
Let's go.
Dun, 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 da, da, dun, 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 da, da. How do we feel about it, boys? The Calgary Flames will win tonight in Edmonton and tie up this series 2-2, because it's got to go 7, right?
It has to.
Going back to the Saddle Dome for Thursday night. You heard it here first. Calgary Flames winning Game 4 tonight. I said that was my vote, but I'm not sure I caught yours.
You didn't. You won't. No, I get it.
Do we got to get you a Flames jersey?
I just want it to go 7 games. I think I want it to be even. I think it's been so much fun for both of those fan bases. They deserve this. So, as hockey fans, we should all want Calgary to win. I mean, Oilers fans
more
don't.
Hockey, more
but
hockey.
We should want Calgary to win because more of this is great. It's so much fun. I love it.
Well, and by the way,
Bingo!
There you go. Yeah, we got it. Looks good.
That's from my guy. This thing was in Jason Tatarnik's safe for a week, the head coach and GM of the Bruins. I thought I lost it. I thought it had gotten lost. So come Thursday night, the Estevan Bruins annual Sportsman's Dinner, of which I'll be emceeing, speaking along with Craig Button and now Alan May. This jersey's going to be up for grabs. So there are, what they say, you were part of the meeting yesterday, 3 tables left? 3 tables left.
I know, going so fast. It's been awesome, and it's going to be such a great night. It's been such a great week, and that's just going to be an awesome event.
You can purchase yours by calling the Estevan Bruins office, and we'll see you Thursday night in the Power Dodge Center. That's the curling club right next door. Last minute of play on the RP show. Last minute. This reminds me a lot of Craven, and people from outside Saskatchewan won't know what that means, but you do, and the Saskatchewan people will. I would go on the Monday of Craven week. By Wednesday, I'd be flamed out, and then everybody would start showing up Friday, and I would have no gas left in the tank. You see these NHL people busting through the curtains here. They're just getting here.
Yeah.
It's day 7.
Right. Well, we got in on day, 4 or 5?
3.
So
Day
it
3.
rolled in fast. Well, the night of day 3, we really were here for day 4, and it's awesome. So much fun. There's still so much left.
Thank you for having us, Estevan, and we're just getting rolling. We're 2 shows into 5 here at the Centennial Cup, presented by Tim Hortons. Thank you to Brent Ladd. Thank you to Jason Tatarnik, our entire crew. Jordan, Ryan, Clark, of course, Paul, Rolf. His name is Rolf. I'm not joking. See you tomorrow at noon Eastern. That's the secret sauce.